Hello and welcome to Let's Play X-Men Legends episode 20. We're in the X-Mansion. We get to play as Allison. Yay! Yeah, not for long though. Just got to start the mission.
X-Men, report to the war room on the double.
Was Cyclops just waiting for her go-ahead? So is she the linchpin to his plan? As it transpires, she does turn out to be quite important,
Okay,
but
people.
still.
I managed to track Havoc and the Acolytes for a short time after they left the mansion. They weren't able to catch up with the Sentinels, so we have to assume Magneto is being held prisoner.
Did you see where Havoc went once they lost Magneto's trail? Perhaps that would lead us to their headquarters.
I tried, but at one point they just vanished. It was like they were there one moment, gone the next.
If anything, they should have just used like comic book shots for this. Like just stills, as opposed to this somewhat animated in-engine nonsense.
After all this time, how can you doubt my technical prowess?
Is that what Magneto was calling?
Kind of reminds me of like a machinima, where they can't like animate mouths moving, but they can make the characters sort of move and gesture.
That's magnetically suspended several miles above the Earth. From the scans I've run, it appears to be both psionically and magnetically shielded.
Okay, so let's hop in the X-Jet, pop up there, and bust some skulls.
Because of the magnetic shielding, no spacecraft, not even the X-Jet, would be able to get near Asteroid M.
But how does the Brotherhood get there?
The Morlocks.
I beg your pardon?
I heard the Morlocks talking just before they nabbed me. And that space rock ain't the mount.
That is the worst voice I've ever heard.
On Earth. I bet that be the only way to transport to Magneto's base.
Feels somehow racist, but I don't know to or for whom. I feel offended, if anything, somehow. I mean, this is close to my ideal team, but Storm is here, so no. Alright. See what level everyone is. So 21's are my highest, 20's my lowest. Okay. I could buck the trend. I could throw someone else in there, but yeah, fuck it. Colossus the man, isn't he? These two boys leveled up, so I'm not going to do anything other than focus for him. We're kind of locked in on that. Optic Blast is now at full power. That's what I like to see. Irrelevant. And Wolverine. Let's go with toughness, expertise, sharpness. They're all up there. I better have toughness at full. It just feels wrong not. Although looking at that, you get 10% for the first level, but then 5% for each additional level after that. So it's diminishing returns certainly, but equally I can't see it unfulfilled. So I've kind of got to do it. Let's go, team. So we're back with the Morlocks. Now, if memory serves, let's make this quick. The sooner we question the Morlocks, the sooner we can get out of this sewer. Subtitle, just find Magneto and stop the war. But mainly, get out of the sewer. Oh yeah, this isn't really a fight. This is just, we're just in their home. They don't, yeah. They're not overly fussed. Yo, move on. Don't want to be seen talking to you. Who's the ugliest person I've got? Probably him. Go away.
I'm not doing anything wrong here, really.
He's stealing from Healer.
I was just looking at stuff, honest.
Tell you what, you give us the information we need and we won't tell the other Morlocks who are trying to steal from Healer.
Tear me apart. Okay. You win. Go ahead. Ask me anything.
He definitely said the full word "go ahead," but they abbreviated it there. That's weird.
You went to see Mara a few hours ago. He hasn't come back since. He seemed pretty upset. Something about the Morlocks working with the Brotherhood. The Healer wasn't too happy when he heard about that one. Nah, he rarely leaves his shop for more than a few minutes. He's always afraid he'll miss someone who'll need medicine.
Mara must have taken him prisoner.
Nah, I don't know. But she's taken any Morlocks who will follow her and formed a small army. She calls them the Gene Nation.
I like how she picked the name Gene Nation. Because the word Gene ends with an N and the N sound. That nation starts with an N sound. You can't say it quickly because it just sounds like G Nation. You have to pause, and the Morlock put a huge emphasis on the pause, as though Marrow had this conversation with everyone. It's like, we are the G Nation, and everyone's like, what the hell does G Nation mean? No, it's Gene Nation. It's 2 words. And she really stamped it home.
And she hopes we'll get a piece of the action when the Brotherhood takes over the world. I think she's fed up with her people being forced to live in the sewers.
I want to find out that that Magneto doesn't even consider the Morlocks as humans, and he hates them more than everyone else, because they're scum. I do wonder though, did they call themselves the Morlocks, or is that a name that we thrust upon them? Because it's from, well, I'm pretty sure it's from H.G. Wells' The Time Machine, the book. It's a very short book. It's the sort of book you might as well read, because people will be impressed that you've read it, but you can actually read it in like an afternoon. It's not long. Storm Drain. That's why I should have taken Storm. Also, thematically, Storm was the leader of the Morlocks for a while. So there's that. Do I need to save it? No, but now that I've said it, I absolutely need to save it, don't I? If I hadn't mentioned it, it would have been fine. But upon mentioning saving, I sort of... I'd never have forgiven myself had I gone on to die. Oh. Physical resistance, okay. Yeah. I mean, I didn't pick the right character going into that, did I? Cyclops is kind of a big deal these days. He's got a lot of power behind him. Plus, these bruisers, they're not built for dealing with Cyclops' immense skill. See, he obliterated that barrel. Kind of stuck in a...
You ain't walking away from this.
I got some nice beds. See my tactic there? Instead of just opening the door to attack, I just shot through the door. It works. What can I say? It's absolutely a case that Cyclops will die under my control fairly quickly, isn't it? We all know it. It's how this normally goes down. How this normally go down. That's what I said. Let's stick by it. This is sewer. I mean, granted, they called it Storm Drain, so maybe it's only designed for storms and surface water, but still, we are still very much in a sewer. I mean, there's feces everywhere. Although, frankly, these sewers are fucking huge. What are you doing back here? You're fucking miles away.
Okay.
To be honest, I only really need Cyclops and Wolverine. I don't need another 2 people. They get in the way more than anything.
Got it.
Fine. I'll be Colossus for a bit.
Okay.
Trouble with Iceman is it's quite hard to actually hit anyone with most of his energy attacks, or at least the Ice Spikes one. He's good for what's it called? Like brawling, up close nonsense.
You ain't seen the last of me.
I love it. Cyclops is so powerful now that even the energy resistant ones, my attack does half his health. It's crazy. I think we are now at the point where pretty much all enemies will have some sort of resistance on them. Which is fine. Which is fine is not a sentence. No, that's not even the right quote, is it? If I could have the powers of any one of this team, who would I pick?
You're done for, pretties.
I feel Wolverine's too easy an answer, but there's someone pointed out to me, if you had Wolverine's powers, statistically the odds of you being buried alive 10 to 1. Like, as in it will absolutely happen. Like if you're essentially the sort of immortal he is, where he just regenerates, eventually, no matter how you live your life, eventually you will be buried alive. Probably forever. And that sort of taints his ability somewhat. Feels like an exit. And then there's I feel Colossus's would be quite cool, but what you got to remember about Colossus is he's in really good shape before he gets metaled up. So you got to wonder if you've got kind of a doughiness about you, and then you fucking and then you steel up. What do you look like then? And I'm not that tall either. Do I just turn into like a small chode of metal? Does that happen?
Right.
But you gotta think how much like energy does it take to steel up? Is that his natural state? And so like if he relaxes, does he turn into that, or is it like holding a fart in to be steel covered? Cyclops is an obvious no, because his world is a living hell, and you know if you had his I-beam powers, unless you could control them, you'd probably you wouldn't also meet the guy who gives him the ruby quartz lenses, so you'd be in a living nightmare. So then you're just kind of left with Iceman, and so long as you didn't accidentally freeze your loved ones, which you might well, yeah, life would be good. I presume to get up to the point where he is now takes a certain amount of training and skill and general ability. Like with no training whatsoever, I presume it was more a case of like, yeah, he could make it a bit colder in the room, but he couldn't like, you know, freeze a river.
Will do.
So it would be between Colossus and Iceman. The only trouble with Colossus is, like, you couldn't. Well, I suppose you could hide that if you were just wearing like a mascot outfit. No one would know underneath what you look like.
Soon you ain't gonna be so pretty.
Yeah, my answer to what X-Men powers would you have? Well, I'd be Colossus, but only if I had a fursuit. There seems to be a bit of a fight going on down there, but
Will do.
not really anything to do with me. You're dead. Oh, shit. There's someone down there who can revive. Could you all line up again? Oh, there she is. She's in the mix. Got her. The good thing is, now that Cyclops, this beam is at absolute full power, every time he levels up from here on out, he's just going to get more access to the beam. But equally, it can't get any stronger. Fuck your campfire. Now, if you could have the powers of any X-Man in the game, what would you pick? See, it's kind of a boring one, but it's got to be Jean Grey, hasn't it? Because just telekinesis alone gives you just so much access to shit. And I'm not talking about like you could fly and have like a shield around you at all times. That's like high level and hard to do. Don't think I came in this way, did I? No, I don't think I did. Yeah, just not any of that stuff. Just minor shit, like just doing little magic tricks with it would be fun, wouldn't it? Like untie someone's shoes from a distance, have a laugh with it. Steal someone's crisps while they're eating them, or biscuits.
You ain't walking away from this.
Fucking Cyclops' thing of that is like, yes, I agree, we are doomed. Good day. Have a nice time. And telepathy, presumably it's not like Sookie Stackhouse telepathy. Remember that? She can hear people's thoughts. They dropped it in later series. It wasn't such a big deal, but early on she'd just randomly hear people's thoughts. But yeah, presumably you can turn it on and off to a certain extent, and yeah, you wouldn't be trying to use it all the time. But then, would life be too easy? Probably not. No. If anything, I'd have some idea what the hell is going on in my social circles. Because I am dense as a fucking post towards these things normally. Go on a group holiday with a bunch of people, you come back and it turns out that during the whole affair, like everyone was infighting and no one likes each other anymore. And I'm just sat there like, oh, I had a lovely time. The gardens were a delight. Meanwhile, no one talks to each other ever again. Jubilee. Wouldn't mind her powers actually. There's no darkness there, is there? Just a bit of fun with some fireworks. Same with Dazzler. There's not a lot of use to them. Okay, I thought that was a dead end and I'd gone the wrong way, but actually just had to turn left. So this will open that gate up, I presume. Yeah. You know, sewers often have gates like this. Presumably the Morlocks built that, which is even more weird than sewers already looking like that. Yeah. Gambit. His powers seem cool but impractical. In the same, actually his powers are very much like fireworks in that they are cool, but you can't really do anything with them. So if someone offered me today a big crate of fireworks, I'd probably say yes, but I'd have no practical purpose for them, would you? Well, there is no practical purpose to fireworks, thinking about it. That attack that Cyclops does, this one here, it really reminds me of in The Simpsons. I can't remember what episode it is. I think it might be a Treehouse of Horror one though. Specifically, Homer's lighting a barbecue and he's got a can of like lighter fluid, and he's like spraying it in liberally. And then he really crunches down on it. He does like a big spray with it. That's what it reminds me of when Cyclops pulls that out. It's like, tss, tss, and really just crunch, like real big one. Danger Room disc. Who's it going to be? Ah, Colossus. That should be fun. I like Colossus. He's a big lad. That's why I like him, because he's big. You know, lovely big face, very friendly. Yep, absolutely missed both of them there. Line up. Little bit of slowdown occurring. I don't have enough power. I like the way the enemies just ran in there. And it very much reminded me of in the Matrix Reloaded when Neo's fighting a whole bunch of Agent Smiths and he starts to lose, and it's pretty much a case of I need more agents, and they all just come running in through doors and shit.
You're done for, pretties.
Like they run in and they immediately know the entire situation. They don't need to be appraised, but at all. Hey healer, please X-Men, free me from this cage. They'll have to find a mechanism to open the door. Okay, so Wolverine has claws that can cut through basically anything. Colossus is incredibly strong and can bend metal.
Yep.
Iceman could freeze the metal and break the metal. Cyclops could definitely just laser through it. He did just kick a fucking Sentinel into next week, but we have to find a mechanism to open that door. Okay. Well, you're dead, so... Not from you, clearly. You bitch. It's the hardest part of being Cyclops. You can't fucking aim. Piss off. Where is everyone? Come and help me, you arseholes. Okay, fair play. You were actually fighting two other enemies off. I'll allow it. But still, arseholes. Oh. I should be fucking Iceman. He's got no weaknesses.
Bring it on,
well, except a warm day. Yeah, he's all frozen. How are you gonna live like that? Is there anything in here? I feel like there's a lot of collateral. Is that the words?
All right.
Could be. I'm a little bit turned around. I think it's this door. Yes. I found the mechanism to free the healer. The great and powerful healer. Doesn't even have a name. He just goes by healer. Although odds are that might actually be what he goes by, because the Morlocks are a bit weird like that. I saw it. Don't you worry. Graduation exam. That was a big one. Might be the graduation exam I needed. Which, if it is, hey, new level, new thing to do. I might look into that next episode. I'll try and finish off this whole Morlock endeavor here, and then go from there. We've saved you.
The X-Men would free me. Bless your hearts. Yes, I'm quite unhurt. Marrow hasn't grown foolish enough to attack me.
Okay, why are you imprisoned?
Marrow had heard enough of my complaining. Gene Nation, indeed. Marrow is going to split the Morlocks in two with her fantasy talk of living on the surface.
Yeah. What's the gateway? Gateway's a guy. He's Aborigine.
Thank you.
Go back to your shop. I don't actually know where to go from here. Could be this way though. I don't think I came from this. Oh, there he is. He's just there. Just sat off center. Hi, who are you? Doesn't talk. We're here looking to get them to the mount. So some sort of gateway in here. Doesn't talk. Please, we need to get to the mount so we can stop Magneto. He's going to start a war. Doesn't talk, but he agrees with the sentiment. Because he opens a gateway. Guess we have to go through there if we're going to find the mount. Let's go. I believe gateway shtick is that he can create gateways to pretty well anywhere. I don't know if he has any actual hard limits. But he's not really a combat guy like Nightcrawler. He just does it. What is this place? How far are we transported? X computer, triangulate on my signal and tell me where we are.
Location is longitude west 78.52.13.
Note how he's just summoned the X computer. I think that's the first time the computer's spoken, and they've ever even really mentioned the X computer. Wow, we're at the equator. Computer, notify someone at the mansion. If we were at the equator, wouldn't like the Y coordinate have just been 0? Isn't that how it works? I'm not sure. I don't know. Yep, bring the X-Jet to pick us up. Guess it's time to do a little investigating. So we're at the mount. Apparently they have an importing teleport pad, but they don't monitor it. Let's see what we got. It's clearly in some sort of mountain. Kind of makes sense. Let's break plate. Oh, there's enemies. Alright. Yeah. Throw him into next week. From above. Immediately get stunned. How's that for resistance? Oh, there's 2 enemies suddenly.
Will do.
Yep. I remember before I used to, first time I played this, I never really thought about like team composition in general, so I think all of my characters were essentially melee based brawlers, so anytime I'd come up against anyone with a physical resistance, I'd never really have an answer. I just have to wail on them for about 10 minutes.
Guess you didn't want a piece of me.
No, I guess he didn't. That looks like something important, but it turns out it's just a lamp. Yeah, really slow attack there, Colossus. Ah, sweet. Danger room disc. Magma. Oh.
Yeah.
It's kind of the worst one, given that a lot of the solo challenges are just with magma anyway. Couldn't avoid that. Wow. He really flew up the wall there.
Sweet dreams, sucker.
Let's It's nearly Christmas when I'm recording this. In fact, this episode comes out on Christmas Day, doesn't it? So, yeah, Merry Christmas. Okay, I nearly lost Wolverine there, didn't I? I nearly jumped him into the active volcano. I now realise I'm in. Yeah. Yeah, it's Christmas Day, isn't it? So if you're watching this, could be on that shiny new iPad you've got. I do find that if I'm ever like buying a gift for family and I'm like, I don't know what the fuck to give them, like the answer 9 times out of 10 is an iPad. He died. It's like the ultimate gift, because one is really expensive. It's a nice gift, and no one can really say no to an iPad, can they? Granted, it doesn't work if you're the sort of person who has like a £50 limit, but if you're extremely extravagant like I am and you don't mess around with gifts, it's what you tend to do. Just throw money at Apple until the problem goes away. I've been this way, haven't I? In my head, this is the door. Move! Everyone fuck off!
Will do.
In my head, this is the door I've just opened, but I know, I was right. Annoyingly, one mission has seamlessly changed into another. Meaning... there's a boss fight here. I'll end on the boss fight. It's a boss fight against, I want to say, Avalanche and Pyro. Oh, no, it's Sabretooth. This is where you're transporting mutants up to Asteroid M, isn't it? Oh, you can see it in the background. It's green. Wait a second. This episode doesn't come out on Christmas Day at all. It comes out on New Year's Day. Made a horrible error. But why come here? Why doesn't get... You've probably got a headache watching this. Why doesn't... yeah.
But he can't reach that far.
So Gateway does have limits then. Maybe it's just anywhere on Earth.
Give it your best shot. It's paying time.
Avalanche is actually surprisingly nice. Oh shit, he's quaking. I think that's his equivalent of an extreme attack. Damn it. Trapped in a cage.
Got it. You bet. Got it.
Oh, I just realised I've got no power energy. Even though I'm pretty sure I should do. Did Avalanche somehow take it all? Fuck you. This is so annoying, this Quake. It takes fucking forever. I started on him. I've got to finish him, haven't I? It's quite funny. He traps us in these little cages, but because Cyclops' attack penetrates everything, it makes no difference. Tremendous slowdown. I think part of it is meant to happen, but equally... Oh.
Looks like...
Did I lose the fight then? I don't think so. I think this is supposed to happen. There's no way up to Asteroid M. Let's regroup back at the mansion. Oh, it cuts back there.
Edge of an abyss, and by God, our very existence depends on immediate, decisive action. There is no negotiating with the mutant blight. Ladies and gentlemen, I offer you a way to eradicate it before they...
Say what you want, the dude knows how to make an entrance.
Silence, human. Your plans to destroy mutant kind will not come to fruition. This pitiful attempt failed, but it has sealed your fate. Let your followers know that it was you who set this war in motion, and let their anguished cries keep you warm in the days to come.
This isn't working out the way you promised.
Don't be so naive, Havoc. How can we ever hope to live peacefully with a species that regards us as abominations?
But using this gravitron of yours is
yes,
madness.
A gravitron.
Then let madness be the
oh god, Blob. Christ.
No, I won't let you do this.
Get him a moo-moo.
Only through force will they realize that we are not merely their equals. We are their superiors.
I'd like to discover that I actually I failed to beat Avalanche, and this is just like the game over screen, and it's really long.
I looked down upon creation and said, let there
so this is actually the zenith of his plan, if you will.
set these events in motion.
Using a weird thing on Asteroid M, he's gonna get loads of asteroids to rain down upon the Earth to wipe out humans. And on top of that, he was going to initially use magma to power it, but when that failed, he decided to do it himself. In fact, he's blocking out the sun on the Earth. That's what he's doing. News just in. Apocalypse. Now.
It's been 2 weeks since mutant leader Magneto began using his powers to encircle the Earth with asteroids. Currently, 90% of the sun's energy is being blocked from our atmosphere. As a result, there has been a 20-degree drop in the world's median temperature. At the UN, world leaders spoke out today, denouncing
I'd love to know
Magneto
the
as
full
barbaric
extent
and
of what that
calling
would
for
do.
retaliatory action. In the US, the president
Be an
stated
ecological
that military forces
disaster.
have focused their attention on finding Magneto's base.
Citizens of Earth, I am Magneto.
You're fucked.
Demands which must be met unconditionally.
In England, this is an insult of a similar level to flipping the bird.
Terminated immediately.
This isn't. It has to be that way specifically. No. No one really knows why. Some people say it dates back to the French, when we used to be at war with the French always, but yeah, no one's exactly certain.
Under mutant law, if my demands are met, the sun will shine again. If I am defied, the chill you feel now will become the endless winter of your discontent. The choice is yours.
Fair play. I mean, you know, it's just one guy for the whole world. So,
since Magneto surrounded the Earth,
nearly at the end of the episode.
Things are really starting to fall apart. Humans are close to declaring all-out war against
Controller
mutants.
up again.
I wish Professor X were here. He'd know what to do. I hope they figure out a way to help him escape from Shadow King.
The Shadow King. Let's call him the. His first name isn't Shadow, is it? It's Farouk Basala, or Amal Farouk. Who the hell's Farouk Basala? That doesn't matter. So that was episode 20. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Oh, it's 2018. Yeah. Well, either way, I'll see you next time.